Hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you guys a first person replay commentary. I played an offlane Bristleback game last night. This is a solo queue ranked. So I was by myself and with a bunch of teammates. I think I was barely the highest MMR in this game, so it was pretty well distributed and balanced, I think. I think I'm a little low right now. I'm sitting around 4,700, I think. Usually I sit around 48, so gonna try to make some of that back. Offlane Bristleback is not something I play very often, but it is situationally a good pick. I just kind of, I don't remember why I picked it. I think I saw like one squishy here on their team, and I kind of picked it last second. It's pretty good against Ember Spirit, it's good against AA, it's good against Dazzle. Those three heroes have very low armor, so and Bristleback does a lot of physical damage, so he's pretty good against them. He does still have to tank a lot of damage though, and the main issue is actually the AA Ice Blast, because what that does is it prevents you from healing. If it does hit you, so you gotta watch out for that. It's very, very dangerous. Morphling is a little scary as well because his waveform, I believe, does full damage regardless of where he's waveforming from, because it doesn't necessarily come from a point, I believe, because it's not like a projectile that comes out. It's more like an AoE damage zone kind of a thing. So I think that does full damage if I'm not mistaken. Oops, I'm the wrong person. Anyways, I started with a Stout Shield here. I think that's probably the best way to go. I would probably do Stout Shield over a Boots on Bristleback because the point of the hero is to tank. It's not necessarily to stay alive, I guess. So, because you really need a Stout Shield, I think, and it barely saved me many times this game. You can tank creeps with it, you can take neutrals, you can tank range clicks. They have 3 range heroes, so it's definitely very important this game. If they're melees, maybe you could get away with just having regular boots, but Stout Shield's definitely the way to go. Now I approached the rune spot at the start of the game. I think this is pretty lucky. Normally people are going to come defend the lanes a lot earlier, but an Invis rune kind of guarantees that I'm able to get experience at the start. Normally you'd sit there for a bit longer and grab experience, and maybe if I was a stunning offlane hero or a clockwork or something like that, I could actually go try to get a kill with this. But since I'm Bristleback, there's virtually no way that I'll be able to get a first blood, so I just decided to back up. So the support's already chilling touch. We just heard that, but I didn't know that yet. Just going to come back to the offlane and do a little blocking. It's important that you block because you want to get the creep wave into a pretty safe location. And I continue blocking while in biz, and I'm going to spot the chilling touch. And in a second here, yep, I checked to see how long the chilling touch was going to last for, and I checked for sentries as well, because I didn't know if they actually spotted me or not. So just play safe for now, wait till the chilling touch runs out, and as soon as it does, then I can break in biz and be happy to do any harassing here. And I was actually able to get a last hit there with the quills. So perfect wave position for me. I'm going to keep double checking on the ward to make sure, see if they dealt with it. And whenever they do hit me, it's always important to turn your back because it is going to reduce the damage slightly. 16% at level 1 is okay. And I did know that they were pulling this over here. I just wasn't sure how much. Now you have to be careful. With chilling touch, you pretty much have to run away. Pretty close. I kind of wish, upon watching what happened, I kind of wish that I hung out in this position for an extra 4 seconds. If you hide in there and you keep quilling, I could have gotten more quill stacks on them, and that means that I might have been able to kill them actually, because you really just need time. So if I would have juked in there, started my quills a little earlier, I maybe would have cast an extra quill before they decided to go for the kill, and I might have been able to do enough quills with the Bristleback to actually score kills. So I kind of wish that I would have done that. I should have just hid. They didn't really follow me in. I thought I was maybe going to juke them and they were going to follow me in and I was going to juke them. But they actually just sat outside. And if I would have just waited there and continued to quill and then they tried to go for the kill, I might have been able to kill them. But on the other hand, if I would have waited there and they stood like slightly out of quill range but ran to the left here and stood over here and waited for me to run that way, then I might have also had trouble. So it's kind of hard to say. I ended up surviving. I did a lot of damage to them. They did a lot of damage to me. And I ended up surviving, which is important. So you should generally only use quills in the early game to get last hits, basically. Just try to secure last hits with it. Or if they're preparing to push in, you can kind of quill up the creep wave as it comes in, just so it dies a little faster, and so you can potentially get the last hits. But they just now took care of my ward. It's really important that I did have a ward. If I didn't have a ward, I probably wouldn't have been able to do this well, or at least get this much experience, so it is important to get a ward. They did a good job side pulling actually, so despite me blocking a camp, they still did a good job preventing me from getting all the last hits. I have to be pretty careful here because my HP is a little low. Just try to get as many of these last hits as you can while pulling. This is pretty scary because they use Chilling Touch, and I did not get the EXP for the Satyr, which is pretty unfortunate, but at this point my HP is really low. It's not too unexpected that I'm going to need to go back to heal. So, boots first, stout shield. Going for tranquils is something you can do, but I don't really recommend. I think it's better to go treads or phase boots. I was considering sitting here and blocking the camp. The EXP wave is not looking good. The wave will push, but I can do two things. I can either block this camp with my body so that they can't pull it anymore, or I can go check the rune. And I decided I'm just going to go check the rune because I checked the bottles on both heroes and both of them were pretty low, so I thought that securing the rune on the top rune was going to be the best thing that I could do here. So I went to top. This will guarantee that I can protect this and that the Ember won't be able to get it. I wasn't sure if the Ember was going to approach, so I was going to run towards him to see if I needed to run back, and he's actually not there, so that means we guarantee get the rune, and the Death Prophet was willing to give me a bottle charge since she was getting a regen, so I was really happy about that. This lets me to continue laning. Normally I would have gone back to base here because my HP was low and I had almost no mana, but because of the, well, they actually blocked the camp apparently, because of him giving me the bottle charge, I can actually resume laning on the top lane. So that's one good reason of going to check the rune. Sometimes your mid will end up giving you bottle charges, and you can predict that a bit. Just see how much mana he has. I did that a little early. I have to be really careful here, especially because they just Chilling Touched. It's more important than anything that I just pull the creep wave past. I don't want to go for the last hits until I'm in a very safe position, and now I'm in a safe spot. And you also might be confused about my skill build. If you're playing off lane, it's generally, especially against a really scary tri-lane, it's generally better to go for 2 levels of Bristleback over a level of Viscous Nasal Goo here, because you really need the damage reduction. They ended up diving here, so I decided to approach and start the right click. My damage is pretty low here, but I'm going to do everything that I can to get a kill. Looks like, I don't know if he has boots. So I get the first blood there. And that's what happens if they follow the creep wave past and I'm in a good position. I pull the creep wave past the tower. It's really important you do that, otherwise the tower will die. Pull the creep wave past the tower. Continue to get XP and CS, and my teammates reacted really well to that, but now they're kind of playing. They reacted badly after this. They stayed way too long, I think. I just want to finish my mech at this point. Getting the first blood got me really close. I was able to get the buckler as well as the headdress here, which is fantastic at this point in the game. I'm almost level 6 as well, so I've won the offlane essentially with help from my allies. Their defense there was really good. I'm glad they came. But they needed to leave the lane, in my opinion, at this point. After getting the kill, it was good that they did this, but I feel like them sitting in the lane wasn't really needed as much. I might be wrong, but I feel like they stayed too long. Basically, the next like 5 to 10 minutes was them sitting in the lane, and some of them messing up my last hits and taking farm and stuff. So I was kind of frustrated with that. Like, I have to worry about last hitting against my support, you know, and I'm trying to finish an item that is going to save them. It's like, dude, do you want a mech? I want a mech. This isn't just for me, you know. Again, make sure that you always turn your back whenever they right click you if possible. So wave's pushing a little bit. I'm gonna sit back. Headdress is actually pretty good for regen. Gives 3 HP per second. It's like a. It's not the best, but it's not bad. And the buckler is gonna help as well. We have another hero coming top. He wanted to fight, I believe. So he said go in now. So I wanted to take the alpha. You want to walk in, have them take a couple hits, and go a little bit too far. That was an easy kill because he got trapped against a tree, but I think we were going to be able to get that either way. So if you are playing Bristleback and you're in like an offlane situation like that, just run at them a little bit and then run away. You kind of have to bait them into thinking that they're going to come for you, or that you're out of position basically. And I forced them into that. They moved forward a little bit, they attacked a little bit, they wasted some of their Chilling Touch. The way Poison Touch works here, by the way, any damage over time spell, it's based on where you're looking. So if I look towards the Dazzle as the damage is being done to me, it does full damage. If I turn my back as the damage is done to me, it's going to be reduced and it'll make that Bristleback sound. So now I'm level 6. You can opt for getting goo at 7 if you really want to. I think I decided not to, but definitely get Warcry at 6. Warcry is a fantastic ultimate. Gives you a lot of damage by casting spells. Really, really good. And now we have an Ember Spirit sitting top, and because we have like 4 heroes top, they're trying to defend the tower push. This is one of the times where I was like, dude, let me just farm my mech, get out of my lane. Like, he keeps taking my last hits. It's like, if I just would have last hitted for like 2 or 3 waves here, I would have my mechanism finished. It's cool that they're pressuring and stuff, but they're over pressuring, and this is kind of a symptom of the level of play where people want a group to take tactics, but they do it a little too much sometimes because they want to make sure that they're there for the fights, which is good inherently, but they're not often enough realizing that they need to go spread out the farm, for example. We did lose the Faceless Void bottom, unfortunately. Like right now, oh, I forgot about this guy. He dies right here, unfortunately. I was quite frustrated about that. So, unfortunately, we just lost both supports for no reason. They really should have just left the lane. I mean, if we're not going to fight, I don't think they need to be there, but the Jakiro is obviously all tabbed or looking somewhere else, so him dying was not too unexpected. And now I'm just going to kind of, I messed up that quill spray, but I just kind of want to quill spray their lane to make sure that these creeps are kind of low HP, and hopefully so that they pull past.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And luckily with my quills I was able to kill it. Looks like they're coming top again, they want to slow down this push. But again, I don't really think they needed to show up here. That was a good disrupt. We were able to do the same thing again, where they go all in trying to kill the tanky hero, and because of that they overextended. We only got 1 kill out of it, I think, but that was still good. That was still worth it. Really, really high action game. This is another example. It's like, dude, I'm 150 gold away. Please don't nuke the wave. Ah, so frustrating. I mean, in his defense, he wants to save his ultimate to use it on the tower or something, but it looks like it didn't work anyways, so we didn't see this coming. He just saved my life there. That was like the closest thing ever. They ultied to try to get me below burst. That definitely would have killed me. I definitely would have died there. That was so close. That was a good play from the Shadow Demon. I got a last hit. Alright, so now Mimir, 50 CS. And this is another issue with us 5-manning one lane. All they have to do is go to a different lane. And as soon as they go to a different lane, then we lose our potential to defend towers. So it's good we finally got our tower, but they took our mid tower for free, for absolute free. So that was a little silly. Anyways, I've got mech finished. I got 4 levels in quills. I've got 2 armor. I've got a mech. I've got a TP. I'm pretty darn tanky. I have pretty good damage. My chase isn't amazing yet, but my main goal is to absorb damage and to not die. And by having a mech, I'm extremely survivable. I have to be careful not to use the mech during the A ulti, but that's the only thing I really have to worry about. So I'm just going to sit mid for now. If they do end up pushing more, then I can indeed back. I maybe should have just stayed top and continued to farm, but since my HP was slightly low, I decided to play it safe here for a bit. Did see the Ember with a regen ring. I think I should have just stayed top and farmed a bit. At the very least, I could pull heroes up there. I did see the Morphling farming, and I checked his items, and I saw that he doesn't yet have like a Linken's or anything like that. So I probably want to just go to the top and make sure that he doesn't get free farm. And I can do that as this hero because I am very tanky. So I should be able to get farm as well while I do this, but more importantly, what I just want to do is make sure that there's pressure on the enemy's hard carry. Morphling is a bit scarier late game than Ember Spirit is, and I would say a lot scarier in the mid game once he gets his shotgun. So by just coming up top here, I can kind of right click him, I can steal his farm, and I can make him not feel as comfortable with getting easy last hits. And this is the benefit of killing their safe tower really fast, is that I can pressure in their jungle, and I can take farm in their jungle, and prevent them from getting last hits basically in a location where they should be farming. And Morphling has to jungle or something like that, and that's far less farm than killing lane creeps. So, and the only reason I can do this is because I have had an early game, a good early game, and because I have a mech, and because I'm pretty tanky as a hero. It also helps they don't have very many stuns, they just have a bunch of slows and nukes. which are not the best against Bristleback. Stunning is very good because then you can disable him and you can approach towards his front and then do full damage to him. So I finally got Nasal Goo because I'm in a 1v1 matchup again, and I have enough levels of Bristleback and I feel tanky enough to be able to survive this. Again, depending on what the lane is like, you may need more or less levels of Bristleback, because one level of Bristleback is sometimes, like I've had some games where I did really well and I went 1-4-1, and then afterwards I ended up getting killed way too often and I messed up because I only had one level of Bristleback and I really felt tankier than I really was. He was faking a TP there. I think he was considering going after me and then realized that wasn't going to work. I'm not sure. But I'm going to continue securing last hits here and making sure the Morphling doesn't get free farm. Kind of looks like there's a fight. I was thinking about going, and then as soon as I saw that the Morphling was going, I decided to show up as well. This Void is not very good, I don't think. If I would have showed up a little earlier, I might have been able to save the Void. Should be able to get this guy. Really good grave by the Dazzle. So unfortunately, we didn't get any kills that I helped with, but I did save the Death Prophet, or at least guarantee that. I maybe could have waited a second longer to wait to mech, but I was kind of already impatient getting there, so I felt like I should just get there as fast as I could and help out. So we got a tower out of it. I think it's worth my TP. I can finish treads now. At this point I just want to tank up while getting some semi-carry items. You don't really need full damage items as Bristleback because your ulti already gives you a lot of right-click damage. So treads into Sanch and Yasha is a pretty common build that people do in the pro scene sometimes as Bristleback. BKB is also really needed this game because of the Morphling as well as the Ember Spirit as well as the Ancient Apparition. It's all nukes basically. If I really wanted, I don't understand why the Death Prophet came up here again. That was very weird to me. I feel like he could have gone to farm the jungle. Like there was an entire jungle on our side, but instead he followed me to the top lane. I don't know. I was perplexed by this. I think he actually played really well this game. I was happy with his performance, but other than the amount of times that he sat in the same lane as me was a little inefficient. But he was quite a bit lower on MMR, like 200, 250 points lower than everybody else on our team, which means that he played fantastic considering his MMR. He had a really good game, but that explains partially what happened. I thought maybe I could save the Shadow Demon here, so I decided to TP. And our Death Prophet did the same. This is way too big of a reaction. We should have still kept somebody top to pressure top. Putting two, like we kept like 5-manning when we really didn't need to 5-man. But he did have a haste, so he's going after these guys. We didn't know where the A went, and then we saw him right here, so it should mean an easy kill. Got the kill. That made it worth it actually. And now I'm going to max out my Bristleback levels. But this is the problem right here, right there. What happened is the issue with our gameplay here. We kept like directing all of our heroes to a lane where things were happening, and then they just split push and take other lanes. So we really should have probably stayed a little bit more spread out because it leaves you vulnerable to split push, which is exactly what their lineup is. But luckily for us, we can just Death Prophet ulti this on the mid lane. Hopefully create pressure here. I think we did end up getting this tower, so picking up a tower like that in exchange for a kill and them taking a tier 1 is completely worth it. Especially because it pushes their towers away from Roshan, and it should allow us to more likely secure Roshan. So again, I see Morphling farming on the top lane, and our team is too grouped up anyway, so I'm going to go back to the top lane. Unfortunately, it looks like Death Prophet's going to follow me. But I should be able to get back top. And unfortunately the courier's out, so I won't be able to get my Ogre Club right away. So I'll sell the TP. I can buy that at the side shop instead. I really feel like the Death Prophet could have just farmed the jungle instead of pushing the lanes like this. I mean, I can farm jungle too, but not nearly as efficiently as the Death Prophet can. Just way too often that we'd sit two cores in one lane trying to farm. It's quite frustrating. I really feel like he's playing the role that I should have been playing. Basically, like he's fairly tanky and he's hard to kill with the Yules and he can dodge a spell, but he's like not that survivable in comparison to me. Although it is kind of cool that we're dual aggressively, because then if they did shift over with 3 heroes, they might even die. So by having 2 heroes pressuring the top lane instead of just 1, they actually have to take like 4 heroes to defend instead of just like 2. And that's exactly what they did here, I believe. They TP'd in a lot of heroes. I was looking to scout them out, and he spotted 2 right here. And that's Ember as well as Dazzle. I'm honestly not so sure that he tried to kill the Morphling here in the mid lane, I think. Alright, I got my Ogre Club now, so I have an extra 200 HP, and I saw the Ember moving. And I saw that there's a lot of heroes mid, and they're all moving towards the mid lane, so I decided to get back from mid. I said I'll push top instead. If you're wondering why I wasn't casting very much there, it's because I didn't want to waste my mana. And now we're going to split push top. Just wanted to heal the creeps up to make sure they're at full. I maybe shouldn't use the mech there because we might have needed it in a fight or on the retreat. But we were able to get another tower, which is great. He's going to TP out, and I thought he was going to get stunned. Now I'm the one in trouble. So I just had to think here. They only have 1 stun. It probably isn't on Morphling. Dazzle probably doesn't have 4 levels of Poison Touch, which is the only way he can stun. Morphling looked like he chose not to stun the Death Prophet, and that meant that we only had 1 stun, and that was on the Ember Spirit, who did end up using his chains. And as soon as he used the chains, I teleported, because I knew that there probably wasn't any other stuns. There would have to be like a Hex on the Hex or an MKB on the Prophet, which is very, very unlikely. Most Prophets go Orchid right now. So, or Maelstrom Blink or something like that. So I thought there was a pretty safe chance of me surviving, and I did end up living. So I wasted their time. We got a tier 2 tower. We got more gold advantage, and I'm going to go back top. So again, I'm happy to go be aggressive. We didn't know this was an illusion, but it was. So the fight was a little weak. I feel like we should have gotten more heroes there, but we killed the Dazzle at least. That was good. He was sitting way too far up in terms of positioning. Watching that now is very obvious. But the same thing happened. I come forward. I take some of the alpha from my opponents, and then alpha being the initial wave of damage and nukes and cooldowns and things, and then you back up, and then your team kind of comes in. You want to get them to waste those spells on you, and they kept doing that. And if they do that when you're if you do that against a Bristleback, it really puts you in a bad spot, because your ability to kill the other heroes is just so much less. Like, they use Waveform, they use Poison Touch, they use Chilling Touch, they use some Ember combos, and they really just can't. They have to worry about me, because if they focus me, I'm just going to tank the damage. If they don't focus me, then I'm going to kill one of their supports probably. It's definitely something you can do. If you cast enough spells, your damage very quickly gets stacked up. I had like plus 100 damage or something like that. That's why I really like getting treads, because treads compensate for your big plus damage added from your ultimate, because it allows you to DPS a little harder. AC is a really good pickup late game as well with Bristleback, because you do mostly physical damage, and getting your attack speed up even higher is a great thing. So I'm going to sprint down towards the Roshan pick, because we knew that they're Roshan, I believe. I don't worry too much about Blade Mail here. Blade Mail is really not that useful against a Bristleback at this point. Maybe I'm just way more farmed than that guy is, but he's level 12. He's got a dag on Blade Mail. It's such a bad build. The Blade Mail is only really good this game against, pretty much against Death Prophet, and that's it. None of the other heroes it's good against. It really isn't. I thought that most of their heroes were gone, so I felt like pursuing this. I felt like I could get this kill here. Like, an A can't really stop me. I got wrecked. So the A ulti hit me. I thought I was going to be able to kill the A there. I really felt that, but they really focused me hard there. I think he should have shot the ice path the other way. That would have been good. Void doesn't make good decisions. Pretty crazy fight. Just respawn now. I still shouldn't have gone that aggressive. I have to be so careful about the A ulti. If the A ulti hits me, it like kills. It's like 250 HP basically. If it hits me, I can't use my mech and I can't use my wand, and that's up to 400 HP. That's like such a big difference. And if I die at 10% HP, that's another 150. So like the A ulti hitting me is essentially like guaranteeing 600 damage. If they get me low enough to kill me, it's guaranteeing removing 600 of my HP, which is a huge amount. It's a huge amount. So that's why it's so important. I should have been a little bit more scared. I just really didn't think they had enough burst damage to get me low anyways. I really felt like that was a free kill. But maybe if my movement speed was a bit higher or something, I could have gotten him. I knew he stacked this, so I thought this was a pretty easy kill. Just remember to keep casting quills while you're killing things, because you need your damage to be higher. I maybe should have gone BKB right after the mech, by the way, just because of what happened in the last fight. If I go Magic Immune, I actually can't die in this game. So I probably should have just gone straight BKB, I think, rather than going Sanjin Yasha first. It's just, I feel like my farm could have been a lot higher as well. My farm's actually quite low. But I feel like that's because we 5-manned way too much this game, and we kept doing those like dual lanes in the aggressive lane. If I would have just gone there by myself and stayed a lot more, then I probably could have. I knew this was a fake. There was like no way that it wasn't. If I just was more aggressive and more solo farming, I think I could have gotten my items a lot faster. So when you're doing Roshan, make sure you go him up a bunch. It lowers armor. Breaks his Lincolns really easily too. I was going to grab the Aegis here. This is going to allow me to be extremely aggressive in the upcoming fights.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think maybe the problem with Nature's Prophets build is he's actually not very tanky here. He kind of grabbed a little of everything. I really don't like the Dagon pickup. And this wasn't a good Blade Mail game either way. You need to get the Blade Mail against people that have like burst nukes. That way you can do the Blade Mail right before they cast. A Shadow Demon, Blade Mail is not going to do anything against him unless you like get a Mega Poison stack or something. And against a Jakiro, it's not very good either. You need it like versus like Lion or Venge or something like that. It's just really not very good against our matchups. This is a case of somebody following a build. Like the Blade Mail build is not something you can just do willy-nilly. You really need to know when it's the right time to do that build. And this is definitely not the right time. So I went to go farm bottom, and I think Void TP'd or something like that, or maybe he walked over. I'm not entirely sure. Definitely had a bit of trouble this game finding easy farm. This is another example of somebody taking a farm that they should have just let me have. It's probably the most frustrating thing about this game by far. It's like we're not fighting each other for CS. Like you're a Shadow Demon that has. I'm pretty sure he had 4 staff at this point. He's pretty close to it. Maybe he isn't. 4. He's really close to 4 staff. Guy's a lot of damage. I actually have to be careful about that. I like this from the Void. It's actually really good to give me the Mjolnir. It's nice that I don't have to farm it either, because I will be doing the tanking. Just giving the Void a bunch of farm. Not a huge fan of the smoke, because it seemed obvious like we were already kind of pushing top. So grouping up to smoke like that is just going to seem... It's going to be kind of irrelevant, because our chances, see, like, it already seemed like we were pushing, so why smoke, right? They already grouped up and sat in their base, so that's a waste of a smoke. We knew that was fake because it didn't break our smoke. Then they came back top, so they do have a ward. We guessed that on the high ground. They're like, alright, they obviously have a ward because they backed up just in time. Although we felt like we should just go high ground because I have an Aegis, so if I have an Aegis I can play really aggressive, and even if I get A ultied I'll respawn afterwards, and so we just decided to go high ground. I do pretty good damage right now too with this Under Nyasha, so.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I accidentally mech'd. It's a mistake.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
That was not the right disruption, I don't think.
Dire's top tower is falling.
He keeps disrupting at the wrong time. My damage is really good right now.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
I heard that coming.
Barracks are fortified.
I should have moved my camera. I could have killed Dazzle there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Definitely time to run. I was waiting for his,
Is under attack.
did I mess up my mech? I'm not sure. I was trying to wait for the AI blast on the Death Prophet to go away. Does he have eggs? Yeah, he does. Ancient Apparition just got eggs. Good timing for him. But I think they spent a lot on buybacks in that fight.
Radiant's bottom
We got a
tower
buyback
is
out of
under
Ember and a
attack.
buyback out of Morphling, which is pretty good. So even if we do end up dying there, we probably should have just ran though. I mean, as soon as they bought back 2 heroes, we probably should have backed. But their tower was already gone, so taking a rack seemed like possible, but we probably should have just backed. If we could have backed after the buybacks and not died at all, then we would have been in a really, really, really good spot. We're just in a good spot right now, I think. Yeah, we're really far ahead.
Who fells me?
Your page in history is safe word.
Oh wow, he actually did try to TP there. Yeah, there was like no way that he was gonna live that. Alright, got another Ogre Club. Maybe having something like a Hood this game would have been better. Over a Sanjin Yasha, something like that is possible, but I'm pretty okay. I think if I should have done anything, I just should have gotten a BKB right after the mech. And then I would have been literally unkillable. I could have killed any of the supports. I could go after Ember Spirit. I do still have to worry about some damage sources, like Sleight of Fist still does a lot of damage to me, but I was pretty happy with item choices. I just should have played slightly better. I lasted a little bad, and our team should have spread out more to farm better. I think our CS is still really good though, if we compare it to the enemies. It's pretty good, yeah. Not amazing, but not bad. Should be more patient about those kind of creeps. Missing any CS is honestly not good, especially late game. Like, you shouldn't miss any more CS. So many pauses. So many DCs. We watched this one for a while. We were talking about fighting down there. I was like, no, you probably shouldn't fight. I was like, maybe you can, but I'm really far away, so if you fight, I won't be able to show up in time or something like that. Oh, they actually silenced. Okay, they silenced Dazzle. That was huge. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get there in time, so I just decided to farm this. It looked like the retreat was already happening. If I would have been running, I would have gotten there maybe right now. But and yeah, that was just it. They like wrecked him in that fight. I was really surprised it went that well, but it went that well. And that's kind of one of the reasons that Death Prophet is so amazing. People really overlook that aspect in my opinion, but the silence is really good. I mean, if you can AoE silence the 2 supports, that means you have 2 heroes that can't do anything in a fight for 6 seconds. It's like one of the best things about her, in my opinion. Silence is so good. It's like so annoying to play against when you're a Dazzle or you're an Ancient Apparition and you're trying to contribute, but she silences 2 heroes. It's so good. If Dazzle can't get a grave off, the hero's useless, you know? And that's just like 4 skill points that counters 1 hero completely. Assuming her positioning is not the best, but in that case it wasn't.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
So that should allow us to get a triple racks. We were pretty far ahead anyways. But winning a fight like that is, yeah, we have 20k gold advantage. This game is quite over.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Morphling was able to get out.
Dire's top barracks has fallen. The Radiant now have mega creeps.
I thought going for an AC next would be good.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now you get to watch me. You guys ready for this? We lost. Could have BKB there, but I didn't. Their kills actually look pretty equal. I'm surprised the gold graph is like so off. But I guess it's just CS or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess we got all their base too. That's a lot of towers. 1, 2, 5 tower advantage. 6, 7. 7 tower advantage. Plus we got more CS probably. Looks like we got, yeah, we got a lot more CS than they did. So that's why we lost. That's why we won. But Bristleback offlane's pretty good. It's more of a semi-carry. It's like you want to be a tank. You don't really have a huge amount of utility, but the goo is actually not bad towards reducing the viability of 1 or 2 carries, especially pre-BKB, because you can slow them by a lot. It's pretty good against Morphling because Morphling's armor gets low as he shifts strength, and you get a lot of physical damage. So it's pretty good at killing Morphling, assuming he doesn't have a replicant up. It's really good against low armor supports like Ancient Apparition, Dazzle, Vengeful Spirit. Most supports, Witch Doctor for example. Witch Doctor's actually okay because he has Maledict, but most supports Bristleback is good against if they have low armor. And then just being tanky, semi-carry, get a BKB, get a mech, become tanky, help your team in team fights is how you should play the hero. And once in a while you can do split push and put pressure in lanes that are a little dangerous. You can farm their jungle, all that good stuff if you really want to. So I really don't want that up right now. It's really obnoxious. Alright, and that's it for Bristleback. It's one of my favorite heroes from Dota 1. I don't like him as much as I used to, but he's pretty good. Anyways, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.